I'm back. Rudrance for our black and white sports. Well, one of my favorites in all of media was also, of course, an all-time great quarterback, a 4-time Super Bowl champion, Terry Bradshaw. Now, of course, he was TB12 before TB12. All right, a lot of people forget how many Super Bowls he's actually won. And one of the things that Terry has had to deal with over the years, and we've all seen it, my father loved Terry Bradshaw. He loved putting on the pregame, listening to Terry. Louisiana guy. I'm in Texas. He's from not that far away from me. And he very vocally is now coming out and slamming some of the things that he's had to deal with over the years. I understand it. As soon as my mouth opens and that country accent comes out, which is something I will never be able to get by or around, people believe your IQ drops 150 points. It's simply not the case, and most intelligent people do know that, but particularly liberals love to go after it because they hate all things that's traditional and country and et cetera, right? Well, one of the most charming, and to me, that's one of the most charming and relatable things about Terry Bradshaw. I know he's not stupid because he could never play quarterback in the NFL back in that time, call his own plays and do all these things and win 4 Super Bowls if he was an idiot. It's funny how a lot of people don't understand this. Well, he was on with leftist a-hole Chris Wallace, who literally asked him about people thinking that he is dumb. Well, Terry fired back at all the criticism he has taken about that over the years. He even fired at Fox. He even fired at the Pittsburgh Steelers in this because he believes Chuck Noll could have went a long way towards sort of stomping out these flames back when he was playing. Even Bill Belichick has given Tom Brady credit for how intelligent he is as a quarterback. Let's get to this. I saw this and I was like, oh, this is very interesting. And I'm gonna tell you this. The one thing I've noticed on this channel, on our platform, is that people love Terry Bradshaw. They love him. They're worried about his health. They love to listen to him talk. He's charming. I mean, it's just, people want media figures to be relatable, and Terry Bradshaw is relatable. And people love that. It feels authentic. It doesn't feel like some kind of a shtick. Right? It's not fake with Terry. Breitbart, Chris Wallace to Terry Bradshaw. Does it get under your skin that people view you as, quote, dumb? CNN's Chris Wallace, he's right where he needs to be, held nothing back in his interview with NFL legend and Fox Sports broadcaster Terry Bradshaw by asking the Hall of Famer if he got, quote, under his skin that people view him as, quote, dumb. The interview with Bradshaw is part of HBO Max's Who's Talking to Chris Wallace? Maybe you should ask the question, who's watching Chris Wallace? Because looking at the ratings, nobody. I wouldn't have known about this if somebody hadn't have seen it and said something about it. The image of Bradshaw as a dimwit has plagued the Louisiana native since he first entered the league as the first overall pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1970. The transcript of the interview appeared at Mediaite. Wallace, you had to deal, Terry, with another issue when you were applying, and this was the rap you were, forgive me, dumb. And Hollywood Henderson famously said, quote, he couldn't spell cat if he was spotted a C and an A. That is pretty funny. Did that talk get to you? Did it get under your skin? Bradshaw, yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. The dumb image. I have yet to figure out a lot of interceptions my rookie year. But my rookie interception record initially was broken by Peyton Manning, considered one of the smartest quarterbacks. I threw 25. He threw 28. So I am upset. I do get upset by the dumb image. By the way, Peyton Manning's a country boy. Extremely intelligent quarterback. I don't like it being brought up. I don't like it being brought up. I mean, there it is. And I think probably some of my anger and frustration with it is that I didn't get enough support. I didn't feel like, personally, I didn't get enough support from Pittsburgh. I thought Chuck Noll could have stepped in and said, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of after all. I called in my open plays. You can't be too stupid and call in your own plays. Wallace, yeah, Chuck Noll, we should tell people who aren't old as you and me that he was a coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right, the head coach of Pittsburgh. But I have taken that image and I've had some fun with it. Yeah, I'm kind of, as you know, Chris, I like to have fun in interviews. I like to entertain people, even if it's at my expense. I'm fine with it. But there are times, even at Fox, when it's Terry's always, the goofball. And there are times where I don't say anything. But I do say to myself, enough. Enough. Wallace said, all right, that's enough of that. Bradshaw has spoken openly about the criticism of his intelligence in the past. For what it's worth, the kid from Louisiana, who apparently doesn't know too much, has remained employed for quite some time and amassed a fortune reported to be in the neighborhood of $45 million. And he didn't make that plan, folks. He made that as an analyst for Fox. Again, I love Terry Bradshaw. I always have. We know Terry's been sick. Thoughts and prayers go out to Terry Bradshaw. Like I said, my 91-year-old father adored Terry Bradshaw. That's a good old country boy talking about football, and I like that. I can hear that coming from my father right now. I don't blame Terry, all right? That guy has forgotten more about football than 99.9% people will ever know about football. I mean, come on. 4-time Super Bowl champ. He played in a different era. But in his era, he was one of the absolute GOATs. And if he played now, there's no telling the kind of numbers Bradshaw would put up. And he was tough as shit. These guys took a beating every weekend. Multiple car crashes. The game back then was about defense, and they didn't protect the quarterback like they do now and coddle them. A lot of these guys that play now would never be successful back then. They wouldn't. They'd wash out. They're not tough enough. Yeah, I said that. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. I like anything to do with Terry Bradshaw. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.